What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back again with another one from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And in this video, we're going to be going over his last book, book 12. So before we jump into this book, I like to just give a little backstory about Marcus Aurelius. He was actually a co-emperor of Rome from 140 AD until 180 AD. That's one of the things I love about reading history. Like, that's within the last 2,000 years. And a lot of people like to put him in the same basket as people like Plato, Socrates, Zeno, all of these great Stoic philosophers, but he actually grew up idolizing those people. All those guys grew up hundreds and hundreds of years before he was even alive. And so he took those Stoic philosophies that he lived his life by and applied it during his rule as a co-emperor of Rome. And the Romans loved him for it, and Rome thrived under his emperorship. During his last years in life, he just started to jot down his thoughts. He just started to journal. It was just his thoughts on life and the universe as a whole. Here we are today, again, almost 2,000 years later, and we're all able to read his writings and understand a little bit about how he was thinking and what he was feeling at the time. Here we are on his last book, and let's get into it. All that you pray in life can be yours now if you are generous with yourself, leaving the past behind and entrusting the future. Direct the present solely on reverence and justice. Now, I really like this passage because, again, he's like, hey, you can have everything you want. You just have to focus right now and entrust the future, but leave the past behind. So many people are just stuck in the position they're in because they cannot let the past go. It's really done without us even thinking about it. We're constantly depressed because of the past. We're constantly thinking about the past, or constantly being in victimhood. I can't do this because these people did this to me, or I'm in this situation. And we really need to, like he said, entrust the future. Again, you can have anything you want in this world. Let the past go. We're here now. And if you need to make a change and you need to pivot, then do that. And let's go forward. Let's move forward. And we can achieve and accomplish anything we want to in this life. You should not let anything stand in your way, not the inquiries of others or anything that others think about you. When you finally come close to your exit and you have left all else behind, if your fear is not your end, but that you never started a life in accordance with your nature, then you will not be a man worthy of the universe. I really like that passage, again, because he's in his old age. He's always thinking that, time is short, or he knows that time is short. This can be over quickly. If you haven't laid it all out on the line for your life, like, you don't want to come to the end of your life and sit there and say, you know what, I should have started that business. I really wanted to open that restaurant, but I could just never do it. You won't be worthy of the universe. He believes that we're all here destined to do something. We were all put on this earth to do something, a purpose that we should go after. It's something inside of us, that inner voice that's telling you or drawing you to go do something. He's saying, again, if you never chase that, then that is a life not worthy of the universe. Like, you didn't go after your goals. You didn't go after your dreams. You didn't act in accordance with your own nature. You shouldn't do that. And I feel like, or not really I feel like, but I've seen a lot of videos or like read a lot of, those people that are close to their old age, and they're like, oh man, I had so many regrets. I should have did this and I should have did that. Like, you never want to leave it on the table. Like, go after what you want in this life. If you can separate your mind from the baggage of the past or the future, you will be able to live out the remainder of your time at peace and kind with yourself. Now, this is a huge one. Again, it's so simple when you're reading these passages, but so many people today, they're either depressed because they can't get out of the past, or they have so much anxiety because they're worried about the future. But he's like, hey, if you can just stop that, if you can get rid of that baggage, if you can learn to control your mind, you will just live in peace. If you can just be present with yourself, you can live out the remainder of your life in peace. I often wonder how everyone loves themselves more than others, but then rates their own judgment of themselves below others. I really like that passage because it's true. Deep down, we all love ourselves more than we love others. But at the same time, if that's the case, how can we always put ourselves down? How can we always sit there and say, I'm not good enough, or I can't do that, or, I shouldn't even try because I'll just fail? If you love yourself more than others, why are you constantly putting yourself down? Why are you not, thinking highly of yourself? And not on some egotistical level, but just, you know what? I'm going to go after that, and I can accomplish that. I can get it done. I am good enough for that. Again, it was just something, I really like that passage because it just made you think like, he's right. We all say we love each other more than others, but then we always think ourselves lowly, like we always are judging ourselves as though we can't do something or we're not good enough. Reflect on how no one is hampered by any other, and all is as thinking makes it so. So what does he mean by this? All is that thinking makes it so. So we are our mind. We are not hampered by any other person or any situation that's going on. We have no control over that. All we have is our control over is our thinking and how we think about a situation. So if you're constantly positive about every situation, then every situation will be positive. Compared to that person who's constantly negative, which most humans are, they just think negatively about every situation. If you're at work and your boss gives you a project to get done, that one person may sit there and think, hey, this is just another challenge for me to overcome, while somebody else may be negative and sit there and say, oh, it's just more work I have to do. Our lives are not hampered by any other person. It's only hampered by our thinking. So make sure you're thinking positive about all the situations in life, and then your life will just be positive all the time. The light of a lamp shines in radiance until it is extinguished. Will then the truth, justice, and self-control which fuels you be extinguished before your end? I really like that passage. That was like straight bars. Like, again, he believes that every human has truth, justice, and self-control inside of them, and that is how we shine as humans. These fuel us, so don't let them be extinguished. Always have self-control, truth, and justice within your life. Don't fail. Don't let that falter. In a short while, you will be nobody and nowhere, and the same for all you see. It is in the nature of all things to perish and change. All this thinking makes you so, and you control your thinking. So remove judgment from every situation, and there will be calm. I really like that passage. That kind of just speaks for itself. We are our minds. We are all we think about. And I think I read a stat somewhere today, or not really today, but just recently, that said 80% of our thoughts are negative. If you're constantly hurt, if you're constantly depressed, or if you're constantly have anxiety, you can control your mind. You can control what you think of. You know, whatever situation you're in, stop judging that situation, and then there will just be calm. And I know this is a lot harder to do than to just say, stop thinking and stop judging. But if you can be aware of this, it allows you to stop the judgment even more. Like, well, I'm judging this situation again. Well, why do I feel like this is bad again? I need to stop this. Just becoming aware and understanding we are all our thoughts, it can help you stop judging situations, which will bring calmness into your life. A man walks with God's support when his choices and direction in life walk down God's path. Now, I really like this passage because, again, going throughout all of these books, he really believes in nature, and he believes that we were all put on this earth to do something. We all have our own path to walk down. You'll know it because you can feel it in your chest. Hey, I'm meant to be doing that. I'm meant to go down that path. I'm meant to be, doing something with my life. Everybody's telling me I need to go to school and be a lawyer, but I really want to be a musician. He says that God will be by your side. God will support you if you go down the path that God is wanting you to go down. He said you can't be wrong by just following what you have inside of you, following your destiny. That little voice inside of you that's telling you to do something, God will support you if you follow that. You can't be wrong by following that. Jettison the judgment and you are saved. And who is there to prevent this jettison? Now, that was a super quick one. Again, jettison the judgment. You are the one who is in control of your thoughts. And so if you are constantly having a victim mindset, feeling that people are holding you back, like that is your own judgment of a situation. That's your own judgment of yourself. You need to be able to jettison that judgment and say, hey, this is my life. I'm taking control of this. I'm no longer judging this situation. I'm no longer being a victim. I'm going to take control and I'm going to make the life that I want to make. You are the only one that can do that. And nobody is preventing you from stopping that. You can jettison that judgment. You can jettison that victimhood. You can start to be great. And it only takes you thinking about this. I'm done with that situation. I'm done with the judgment. I'm no longer going to live like that. And I'm going to move forward. Every man's mind is God and is flown from the source. Nothing is our property. Our bodies and even our souls themselves have come from the source. I kind of like this passage. He really believes that this universal nature, we are all from this one being from outside of this world. And it's kind of funny that he says this because I'm starting to see a lot of podcasts pop up saying that, the human experience ourselves, we are just from one consciousness, and that every person is just an avatar and we're just talking to ourselves. So we're all from one source, one whole consciousness of the universe, and we're just interacting with each other, but we're all the same. We're just different, avatars, as you will. So it's funny when I read this, and he believes the same thing thousands of years ago, that again, there is only one source, one consciousness, and we are all just different parts of that consciousness. Constantly review your mind on all that anger has taken to great extremes, on all of those people who have reached great heights and great disasters. Where are they at now? Where are those situations now? All gone, smoke and ashes. I really like that passage. Again, especially the extreme anger portion. So many people today will get angry at a situation. They'll just blow up over nothing. And it's like, wait a minute, six months from now, you're not even going to care about this situation. So even you yourself, if you constantly get angry at different things, if you're constantly all in your emotions, it's not going to matter a year from now. So why even blow up on the situation? Now, again, we all have to live in the present. We all have to live now. So it doesn't mean that nothing matters. Do the best job you can do. But there's no point in getting angry over a situation. And there's no point in even caring that much about, like he said, your great heights or disasters. Like, none of it matters in the end. Everything will be forgotten. And if you can learn to do this, I really feel like it'll keep you in a calmer spirit. If you're just, hey, I'm going to live every day present, I'm going to do the best I can do, but I'm not going to cast any judgment, good or bad, it just keeps you at a very steady, constant state of just calmness and serenity. To those who ask, where have you seen the gods? I reply, I have not seen my own soul either, yet I honor it. So with the gods too, with my own experience, I have seen their power time and time again. I am certain they exist. The salvation in one's life lies in applying one's whole soul in doing good and speaking truth. There remains only enjoyment in living in linked succession of good deeds. Just to live a good life, you just need to do one good deed after the next and live in truth and speak truth and constantly just do good deeds. That's all it is. And then you will be in enjoyment. If you're constantly out there trying to snake people and do evil and be just a bad person, that's not a good life. And that'll come back to bite you in the end. But if you can just do good, be a good person, constantly doing good deed after good deed after good deed, your life will be good. And it's just that simple. But I have not played my 5 acts in life. True, but 3 acts can be a whole play. So go in peace. The God that lets you go is at peace with you. Now, I really like this passage because so many people are like, oh, they were gone too soon. You don't know how long you're supposed to be here. Nobody does. And what is too soon? So whenever your time is up, be at peace with that, because like he said, the gods are done with you and they are at peace with you. At that same time, make sure you're living a life that you are enjoying and make sure you're living and doing what you want to do in this life, because as far as we know, we only get one, so make it count. And with that, that is the end of book 12 and the end of all of these books. Now, I only went over a few of my favorite passages from each of these videos, but if you have not picked up this book, if you have not read this, I definitely recommend it to everybody because this thing is just filled with gems. Again, 2,000-year-old advice that you can just use today in your everyday life. Things that so many people have forgotten. Understanding your mind is so powerful. Understanding that all you really need in life is just to be a simple, good person. It's so powerful, the passages that he's talking about, and how just reading this stuff can make your life so much better. Understanding this stuff and being aware of your life and how short of a life we all have on this planet is, and how applying these passages to your own life again can just make you live a better life altogether. And so that's pretty much it for this video. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in that next series. Peace.